Artificial intelligence continues to be the next big thing that not a lot of people really know much about, but still, everyone can't stop talking about it. Naturally, there's a lot to talk about AI in the world of video games as well, especially fear around how many jobs it'll impact. The good news is, no one really knows yet, so at least for now, things are proceeding as normal. The bad news is, once someone figures out how to effectively utilize AI to skip some human tasks, a lot of video game jobs will be at risk. In this video, we will talk about the state of AI in video games today and how it can impact the games of tomorrow. First, when most people say AI these days, they are most likely referring to generative AI, the technology that can automatically generate a response based on a prompt usually given by a human. This is the kind of AI that has become a buzzword today. But AI in general has always been used in video games since day one actually. Every game that you have ever played where a computer-controlled character reacts to your inputs, that is AI at work. Sure, it is very restrictive and limited to the instructions programmed by the developers, but in simple terms, video games have always used artificial intelligence to give players an immersive experience. If you look at reviews of older games, you can often find the reviewers complaining about how the game's AI is either dumb or quite intelligent. Perhaps the best use case of AI is in games that utilize procedural generation, like No Man's Sky, Returnal, and Warframe. These games generate levels randomly, although still limited to a few predefined parameters, in an effort to keep the gameplay fresh for repeat playthroughs. So if AI has long been a part of video games, what can generative AI possibly do to further change the market? Well, not a lot, at least for now. When tools like ChatGPT and DALL-E first came into the market, everyone, including game developers, were surprised and curious about their potential. This means it will take some time for these experts to properly test this new technology and produce results by using them. So far, we have seen companies like NetEase and Ubisoft promise games that will utilize generative AI to improve NPC experiences. Ubisoft's recent release, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, already has an NPC that is voiced by an AI. But we are yet to reach a stage when an entire game can be produced from start to finish using generative AI. Needless to say, even if such a game is made, it will require heavy intervention by experienced humans to modify the results into an enjoyable game. So at least from the perspective of consumers, there is still some time left before we start seeing the results of using generative AI. Now let's talk about the perspective of game developers. Over here, the results of this new tech are already visible. Making games is difficult, and developers are always happy to use tools which will cut down that effort. Solo developers and smaller teams can definitely appreciate tools like Unity Muse, which takes care of several labor-intensive tasks such as creating sprites, animations, and even providing a base for the game's code. Again, human intervention is required to actually take this generated content and shape it into an actually playable game, but the time and money saved in the process can be enormous. Just 5 years ago, if I wanted to make a 2D game in Unity, I would have to hire an artist to create art assets such as characters and backgrounds, an animator to add basic animations to the characters such as walking or running, a musician to create background music for the game, and of course a programmer to put all these together and make sure that the game actually works. With generative AI tools, I can theoretically do all these tasks on my own and then hire a single person to shape things into place, just to make sure that they work. Now, would such a game actually be fun to play? Maybe, maybe not. That depends on how much human effort has gone into planning the game's design and what choices I make while choosing the art, animations, and music. But at least I can get started today and not wait for 4 separate people to finish their work. In this scenario, I have taken away work from 4 humans and given it to an AI tool. This is what game developers around the world are worried about. From a solo developer's point of view, things are great. I can save a lot of time and money. But from the industry's point of view, this takes away a lot of work from the market, leading to job losses and a gradual shortage of human talent. Like I said earlier, we still have some time left before we actually see the impact of generative AI on the video game market. But with layoffs happening frequently already, it doesn't seem to be proceeding in a good direction. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.